to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Didn't bring myself.
Thank you. If we have just a moment of silence. Thank you. Two things that are going to happen here tonight. It would be the considered adoption of the FY27 Botetourt County General Budget and the FY26 Supplemental Budget Appropriations. A couple of things I do want to bring forward, though, is just a couple of reminders. The Google Data Center open house is tomorrow evening.
I'm sorry, that's Wednesday.
17th. I'm sorry. Wednesday, yes, sorry about that. Wednesday evening at Lower Botetourt High School from 5 to 7. Folks from Google will be there to discuss the future data center campus in Botetourt. The intent is for the community members to be able to speak directly with the subject matter experts on technology and operations, power and infrastructure, county impact and process, water usage and sustainability, environmental and noise. Please try to attend this. And since this is a called meeting today, there'll be no citizens comment this evening. Citizens comments will be available at the regular BOS meeting on June 23rd. So the board, like as I said, needs to adopt the budget for Botetourt County. We have already adopted the tax resolution with no tax adjustments from the FY26 taxation. There is a couple things we went over last time. Was we wanted to listen to the auditor. We were two individuals here on the board had been there, as well as two board members, two Botetourt County Public School Board members were there, as well as the superintendent, county administrator, the financial individuals that were from the county as well as the school. And I want to thank Mr. Schneider, Mr. Rotman. Thank you for attending this. I know you all have some things probably to say about that. And if Mr. Schneider, if I could have you make a mention of what you learned that June 11th meeting. And then after that, I'd like to have Ms. Rotman do the same. So, Mr. Schneider.
Thank you. I would like to thank all Botetourt County department heads for their time, effort, and cooperation throughout this year's budget process. While I believe there is always room for improvement, I am confident we will continue to strengthen the process through collaboration and experience. This year also gave me the opportunity to become more familiar with our county's auditing firm and staff. I am pleased to say that I have confidence in the auditor, the audit process, and the results. I would also like to thank the BCPS School Board, Superintendent, Finance Director, and supporting staff for their professionalism and participation. As part of my effort to better understand school funding, I consulted with the Virginia Department of Education regarding the state superintendent's report. I learned that comparing school divisions is far more complex than it may appear, as differences in programs, student needs, and instructional offerings can significantly impact costs. As previously stated, moving forward, I hope to see the Board of Supervisors, County Administrator, School Board, and Superintendent continue building stronger relationships while working together on long-term priorities, including facility maintenance and capital improvements. We should also recognize BCPS for its achievement of ranking 5th among Virginia school divisions in 2025, while continuing to ask what investments and improvements are needed to reach the top. After reviewing the available information, I'm prepared to support the overall budget proposal, which includes the BCS budget component of approximately $2.8 million allocated to its operating budget. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nyberg. Ms. Robin?
Brent, could you put up my slide? Thank you. So was a little bit more focused on the actual numbers. I don't know if you can enlarge that a little bit. Corbin was kind enough to put together some numbers for me, which I'm attempting to, which are on the sheet that I just gave you. So basically, what I was trying to compare was the budgeted amounts with actual spending year over year. So as I understand it, the budget's amount is sort of primarily based on anticipated revenues. So if you look at the top line there, the budget / anticipated revenues, FY 2022 were 64.8 million. FY 2023, 73.2 million. FY 2024, 74.5 million. FY 25, 76.7 million. And then the last two numbers I got from the advertised budgets. So for FY 2026, the year we're in now, 80.4 million. FY 2027. This amount I've adjusted to be at level county funding with last year, which would be 85.6 million. Then I took a look at the actual spending from the audited figures. So in FY 2022, it was 59.5 million, which produced an excess revenues over budget / revenues over actual spending of $5.2 million. Onward through the years till we get to FY 2025. That's the last year that we have actual audited figures for. So the projected budget in that year was $76.7 million. Spending was $72.7 million. The difference between the two of budget / revenues over actual spending was $3.9 million. So for FY 2026 and FY 2027, we don't have actual spending figures because audits have not been conducted as yet. So Corbin mentioned in the audit meeting that we had that absent some kind of big revenue dump, like during COVID, extra monies, that we would expect something between 3% and 6% increase every year. So I took the far end of that and I projected expenditures out by 6%. So for FY 2027, 26, that would be 77.1. For FY 27, the budget that we're working on now, that would be 81.7 million. So at level funding, the projected revenues would be 3.9 million more than projected actual spending. That is at level spending. So I repeated the same exercise again, adding in the $2.8 million that is being proposed to increase the school budget by. And in that instance, the variance between projected revenue and projected spending is $6.7 million. So one of my conclusions is that at level spending, we have an ample surplus built in. Now, it may be that all of these projected revenues do not come to fruition. That is always a possibility. In that case, I mean, if we were to go with level funding, the schools would always have the opportunity to come back later in the year and demonstrate why the funding that we were giving them would be insufficient. So at level funding, we're looking at a projected surplus of budget / revenues over spending of $3.9 million. I think that's a pretty comfortable margin without increasing the budget by an additional $2.8 million. So particularly since we don't actually have revenues, like generated revenues, to pay for that increase. We're taking 2.1 million. Yeah, thank you. I have trouble with those zeros sometimes. we're proposing to take 2.1 million out of the employee surplus health fund for the county. So that is apparently is a very well-managed fund that people are doing things to save money, like get their prescriptions from Canada and Australia, which apparently saves a huge amount of money. Well-managed fund, built up a large surplus. It's not something that's repeatable every single year. This is not a source of revenue. So when the schools come back next year and they say, we want another large increase, we don't have the revenues for it. The only way we're going to be able to pay for it is tax increase or borrowing. And I am not for a tax increase. I don't think the people of this county would be okay with another tax increase. So that's some of what I learned at the audit meeting.
Thank you. I mean, and so what we have in front of us is basically the proposed increase, which was mentioned, the FY26 school budget, 2.8 million. Well, is it 2,812,616 for the school system, which is more than 2 million reduction from the school system operation request. However, the school superintendent, Dr. Womack, has stated the school system can live with this amount for FY27.
If I could just interject, of course they could live
Yeah.
with a
Understood.
$6.7 million surplus. I think they can.
Yep. Okay, and I wish to remind everyone, this does not include any of the capital money. But that being said, you know, here we have entertained a motion to adopt the budget as advertised with the adjustments that I had mentioned in the savings of a net of 87,088.
I make said a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Well, I think I've made it fairly clear that I would propose to amend the budget. I think a $3.9 million surplus at level funding is ample. It's kind of, if we don't understand exactly what the numbers are, if we're looking at the schools asked for 15 million, and now they're ready to accept 2.8 million, I think we need to ask why. I think we should be doing the budgeting from the opposite point of view, where the schools need to justify to us why they need increases. I mean, we are looking at level funding at an increase of $21 million over 5 years with declining enrollment. We've got schools that are half empty. Surely there are some efficiencies that could be achieved to reduce the spending. So by giving the schools more money, we are not exerting any kind of fiscal control over the schools whatsoever. We are giving them close to a $6.7 million surplus. What is that in tax dollars? I mean, tax cents. Is it like 13 cents, around 12 cents, 11, 12 cents. So instead of giving citizens tax relief, we are, because the schools have said we can live with 2.8 million. We don't know why. We don't know what expenses are required for each of their categories because that hasn't been presented to us. I just think at some point we have to say, everybody's tightening their belts. We have to look at everybody equally. Every department came to us from the county and said, we would like this increase. We cut them back. But it was only after we looked at each of the figures and the spending, we could see whether or not the spending was justified. We don't have anything that shows us that the schools have presented to us that would justify increases that we're talking about here. We haven't seen from them. I was at their budget meetings, and pretty much what they say is health insurance is going up, we need more money. Fuel costs are going up. We need more money. But that sort of begs the question about what the rest of the budget is about. Are there places to save elsewhere? Is it being efficiently operated? Is their healthcare being as efficiently operated as the counties? Apparently not, because theirs is practically, they have part of the funds here that we're going to be giving them is to buck up their healthcare. I don't think we are ever going to, I agree with collaboration, friendliness, cooperation. These are our children after all. But we also have to have some kind of controls rather than just throwing money at the schools to try to affect efficiency for the benefit of the children. I mean, are they benefiting by these increasing healthcare costs rather than bringing that program under control and having extra money for the kids?
So, Mr. Snyder, you had an opportunity to be there with the auditor as well. And when they said, did he mention anything about how the money has to be spent? You know, if they come back to the board and say, okay, ask for money. Did he mention anything saying, okay, how do they do the teachers? How does that get bid out?
We discussed money coming back to capital reserve. We discussed the pros and cons of different systems in terms of one system where the school system holds additional revenues or unspent funding versus returning. And there is absolutely room for discussion there. The way that we have it set up now, I'm comfortable with where our auditor landed the final figures for the past audited year. I'm confident that the system that was described to me works and works well. And therefore, I believe in the numbers where we've landed.
So let's move to a roll call if we can. Roll call vote.
No.
Nicely.
Yes.
Dr. Scott Horn.
Yes.
Mr. Michael.
No.
Mr. Snyder.
Yes.
And Ms. Davis, if you will present FY26 supplemental budget appropriations.
Good evening, Mr. Chair and members of the board. I do have for you some supplemental appropriations for the current year. I know we just adopted the FY27 budget, so I just want to clarify these are amendments for the current year. These items total $838,375.49. And you can see they're listed out there before you. The most significant of which would be for Children's Services Act. I know we've talked about that some extensively during the budget process. So there is an additional appropriation from that. Roughly 65% of that would be coming from anticipated revenues from state federal sources. Are there any questions I could answer for any of these items?
Any questions from board members?
No, thank
And
you.
if not, I'd entertain a motion to approve FY26 supplemental appropriations.
I'll make the motion.
I have a second.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Yes.
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 Thank you.
Thank
After a
you.
short recess, we plan to go into closed session concerning section 2.23711 of the Code of Virginia, 1950, as mentioned, amended to discuss the acquisition and disposition of the real property. However, it is expected that no action will take place as a result of the closed session. Please join us for the regular BOS meeting on June 23rd, starting at 2 p.m. Right now, if we can have a recess to go in closed session.
Are we doing it here? We're going.
Now we're going to do in 229.